What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum. Bob Arum responds to Deontay Wilder's comments that he made on an interview on 78 Sports TV that maybe Tyson Fury needs to step aside and allow him to face the winner of Ruiz and Joshua for an undisputed title, okay, or opportunity, rather. Because, backstory, he feels that he gave Tyson Fury a concussion. He thinks everyone around him is scared and fearful of him being hurt in the rematch, and he wants to hurt Tyson Fury in the rematch anyway. So Tyson Fury may not want that fight, okay? That's the backstory of that. Now, this is what Bob has to say in regards to that. Bob Arum says, forget about it. It's Wilder being Wilder. The fight is signed. It's going to happen. Don't pay any attention to Wilder. He just wants his name out there. You can't listen to these guys. I mean, maybe if there isn't a signed contract, maybe then someone says something. Saying something means something. But February 22nd is the working date. Period. So, that's Bob shutting all that down, shutting the rumors down, shutting the idea down. And like I told you guys, it makes sense. I've did countless videos on this already, concerning this topic or around this topic. You can't sign a contract and then ask a fighter to step aside. That makes no sense. It would be different if Fury was a mandatory and they would have, then they could ask the sanctioning body permission, for this, and then guarantee that, pay him, then guarantee him that the fight of the winner or whatever. But this is different. This also includes two different promotional companies that other people claim that hardly ever work with each other, which is true. You have ESPN, then you have Showtime. You have Bob Arum, then you have Al Heyman. Okay? You have a lot of these guys that are involved in this fight to make this fight happen, right? So the money has to be there and the contract is signed, so everyone is in play. You can't all of a sudden, because you see another fight going on over here, try to, let me be innovative now and try to get an opportunity with another fight. Just because another fight is getting more buzz, or is talked about more than your fight. You know what I mean? I think Deontay Wilder needs to focus on his fight. And needs to focus on his career because, as I recall, he's doing the same thing that Anthony Joshua's doing with him. See, he's given the runaround. Deontay gave Team Joshua the runaround and called two fights in advance. And then we still haven't seen any fights that the next fight that Deontay Wilder is supposed to be fighting is Ortiz. Let's hope that still happens. But anyway, that's another video. I'll talk about that later. But now you're all you're worried about is everything except what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think Deontay Wilder needs to focus on that, because if Ortiz comes in driven, hungry, and he knows all he needs is that one performance of an upset. People don't understand boxing. Boxing takes one punch. It takes one opportunity. One night, one punch, one opportunity. That's all it takes. Ask Marquez about that. Ask Andy Ruiz about that. Ask Keith Mullins about that. Ask Buster Douglas about that. Ask a lot of these fighters about upsets. And these guys were there. As long as Ortiz, because he's supposed to be a working boxer, just a gym rat anyway, right? He goes to the gym like it's a 9 to 5. They have to tell him to go home, right? They have to tell him to, hey, take a break, man. We tired of looking at you, right? I think Deontay needs to really focus on that fight. If that fight's going to happen, don't jerk Ortiz around. You know what I mean? Let this guy fight this guy, because you said you were going to fight this guy. Right your wrongs like he said he was going to do. But I agree with Bob Arum. He does want that attention because he's an attention whore, I feel he does want an attention. If the attention is swaying away from him, he will say something that's similar or that's related to what's going on that everyone's talking about. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking about Andy Ruiz, Joshua. Okay, hey, you need to step aside, even though I already signed a contract with you so I can fight that guy. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, guys? Public? Fans? You know? Wilderlings? Right? So, yeah, he already signed the contract. It makes no sense for him to do that. But to be fair, maybe that was just a suggestion. You know what I mean? I don't think that he was like, oh, that's why he had to ask Tyson Fury to step aside. But no. He's going to fight Tyson Fury. And, hey, and he makes his bet, he got to lie in it. That's it. You know, if he didn't really mean to fight Tyson Fury or Ortiz, he shouldn't have said that right after another fighter that's the other champ at the time wanted to sit down and talk about fighting you man to man. And that's always been my question about Deontay Wilder. I always question, why didn't Deontay Wilder ever want to sit down and talk to Joshua? You know, I mean, that's my thing. Or why he didn't even really want to be in the same place as Joshua. Or if he did, he wanted Joshua to come to his fights, and then he got offended when Joshua didn't. You see what I'm saying? And that I think that what bothered Deontay, because Deontay Wilder wants to be recognized, people. And when Anthony Joshua didn't show up to his fights or whatnot, you know, he took offense to it. It was like a slap in the face. That's what I feel Deontay Wilder was feeling at that point. You know, because he was feeling like, hey, I'm a champion too. I know I make less, but hey, you got to respect me. I'm the WBC, the most prominent belt, and yada, 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 yada. All right. So, but no, he wanted to build his career or decide not to fight Joshua. Then Joshua gets upset. Now, I guess it's easier for the idea of fighting Joshua now. It's not as risky, right? Because if you feel Andy Ruiz is going to win anyway, okay, I want to go that route anyway. You know, not knowing those are two different fighters. But anyway, that's another story. But Bob Arum, back to him, he puts his foot down. So the contract's been signed, and you can't renege on a contract, or you could get sued. You could end up in a worse shape than you ever started in. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum laying down the law. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.